So we're done fitting the next big upgrade. All the test results look great. The only one left to check it out is you. So I look forward to seeing you try it out in the next session. You should be able to feel the difference. Hopefully, it lives up to expectations.
Hey guys, and welcome to the start of Season 7 of my F1 2017 career mode. And first of all, can we just say and appreciate that brand new animation, which personally I've never actually witnessed on an F1 game before. But nonetheless, welcome guys to Season 7, and if you're new around here, then hopefully you do enjoy this career mode series. 7 seasons now, or should I say 6 seasons in the book, about to start number 7 here, and I'm very much excited, and renewed Williams for another season after coming so close last season. And if you guys did miss the last episode, then do as you go click the card annotation in the top right hand corner of the screen if you did miss it by chance. But jumping into Friday practice at Albert Park, overall a great session, and the car feeling great already, shaking it down, got a good car underneath me, good balance, and overall feeling pretty confident going into the race weekend ahead of us here. But if you guys are new around here to the channel, or you're subscribing from this video, or you're a recent subscriber, then I do urge you to go turn on your notifications, guys, to not miss a single upload from the channel from now on until the very near future, as there's always going to be plenty of content coming your way in F1 and MotoGP variety. But nonetheless, resuming back onto the video, and as you can see, coming towards the end of practice now, and like I said, a very good session and a lot of momentum getting carried into Saturday for qualifying for the first session of the season here. And straight away going into Q1 here, I felt pretty damn confident. I've got to say, the car felt really good and I could get to grips with it straight away. I've got to say this, the cars in Season 7 around this track are just so quick. Like, it's actually hard to keep up with. I remember at the time when I was doing the laps, really genuinely struggling to keep the concentration for the entire lap, because it's such a fast lap around the Albert Park circuit. But we managed to pull through, and as you can see in Q2 going for the slower super soft compound tyres, and so far looking pretty good, going fastest in the first sector pretty much, and matching Sebastian Vettel through there. And the car just feels really on rails at the minute. I've got to say, the setup and also the upgrades over the winter, improving the tyre wear substantially, which was the main one over the winter, and the car just having a real nice balance to it. I've got to say, it's absolutely phenomenal. And as you can see in Q2 now, coming up to the line, a little bit more, showing my cards a little bit more in the session, if you like, and showing the true pace of the cars. We go P3 there, and we will end up finishing the session in 4th place, the only person in the top 10 to qualify on the super softs there. And Felipe Massa just gets through in 10th place. But now in Q3, we are going to go for 2 laps. My first one was actually really good and very competitive, into the 1 minute 19s actually, so that's how good it was. But our best attempt was the final one, so we're going to run on board now for a lap of the Albert Park circuit. So straight away, a small disclaimer, this lap is not the cleanest, it's a little bit scruffy in places, but somehow I managed to improve. So as you can see, so far, turns 1 and 2, absolutely perfect. Now into turn 3, we're going to brake really hard down the 3rd gear, try and find that apex. I lock up a little bit there, as you can see, and this is what I meant about a scruffy lap. However, I really attack turn 4 nicely, using all of the track available to you, and then some, and then flat out through turn 5, and we're a little bit down in the first sector at the minute, as we now throw it into this really quick right hand, using pretty much all the curb, keeping it just within the fraction of the track limits, as we now brake very hard for this 90-degree right hander that feeds into an opened up left hander onto the back straight. And so far, second sector looking pretty damn good, as we keep it nice and tight to the left hand side on the back straight. And now the 2 best corners of the track, listen to this. 110% commitment through there, and almost losing the back end on the exit, but we make it work. A lot of momentum through there, and now chucking the car into this next 90-degree right-hander, and now this is where you can make or break your lap. Really, this corner here is the one for me, because you can gain so much time, and we get it absolutely perfect. Now braking hard for the penultimate corner, throttle on as soon as you dare, and then throwing it into the final corner, trying to keep it flat out if possible. Open up the DRS, let the revs run up to the limiter, and we're going to run it up to the line. Do we improve on P4 on our final attempt? And it's going to be no, we remain in 4th, but nonetheless, an absolutely incredible lap there, and that is how quick an Albert Park lap is now. Sub 1 minute 20s, absolutely remarkable lap times there, but really encouraging signs. And overall, the car felt absolutely phenomenal, and Massa got P8 there also, so not too bad, with a Ferrari front row lockout, Vettel leading the way and starting off Season 7 just like he did in Season 6. But nonetheless, that was the story of Saturday qualifying. We're now going to move into Sunday for the race. It's race day here at Australia, and we're going to be starting the race from P4 on the grid, second row alongside Sergio Perez. And let's hope for a good race. We've got both of the Ferraris on the front row with a pretty competitive grid all around us. And overall, I'm looking forward to this race, and also curious because the overall pace of the cars is absolutely mental. Like, the cars are so fast. So I'm really curious to see how much of a frantic pace this race is going to have. And I think this might be over in a flash inside like 40 minutes if it all goes smoothly. So I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be very interesting. The new standard of pace in Season 7, it looks pretty damn high. So it's going to be a real challenge to try and fight these guys. And if you make one mistake, you're going to lose a hell of a lot of time. So fingers crossed it can work out for us. In terms of the race strategy today, we're going to be running a one-stop strategy and super softs onto the softs. The tyre wear is going to be pretty excruciating and a bit painful, so I might have to switch tyres. To be fair, I'm looking at it now, I might actually just modify my stint a little bit and bring in the softs a little bit earlier, one lap earlier, but we're going to see how far we go. We've underfueled by half a lap, so fingers crossed it works out for us, and hopefully we can kick off Season 7 in the best way possible. And unlike last season, when we didn't score any points at all, we can actually score a couple of points. So let's jump straight into the race, the first race of Season 7. Here we go. We're going to get ready to the 5 red lights. And underway we go for Season 7. It's a pretty okay start. Nothing spectacular considering the tyres we're on. But look at this, Raikkonen up the inside of Sebastian Vettel. We're going to go up the inside of Hamilton here to try and defend our position and try and hold on to 4th place. Perez here looking very racy as well in the Force India, in the slipstream right now. Everyone following in a straight line. We're going to brake hard to the inside, up the inside of a couple of cars here. And we're going to get past Perez, I think, but we don't get past Raikkonen. So, good start. Recovering from a little bit of a poor getaway, and we're now up at the 3rd place, and now we've got the super soft compound tyres on the car. So let's see how those fare for us, but I'm looking forward to it to see how this race pans out. We've got Raikkonen in front, Vettel leading the way, and at the minute Vettel looking already pretty prominent and unstoppable, putting away already at the front of the grid here. Raikkonen also not looking particularly great compared to his teammate, but let's see what our pace is like, and let's see if we can race these guys here today, and is this Williams up to the challenge of racing the Ferraris? Okay, at the minute we're looking pretty good. Vettel's walking away at the front, but Raikkonen is actually going a little bit faster in my opinion, not matching him for pace at the minute, which is interesting. We're not too far off the pace, we're keeping up somewhat, so far we're looking pretty good. Also, I'm curious to see what the tyre wear is like, because obviously we bought that ultimate tyre upgrade after Abu Dhabi, which should really help the tyre wear and allow us to re-put off the one-stop. So far we're looking good, and we're keeping the Ferraris in our sight. Right, personal best, still keeping the Ferraris within range. Also, DRS has been enabled enough a few laps that Perez can't really get close enough. So right now we're pretty comfortable considering the tyre we're on. So the one stop is definitely a target. My only concern is that the Ferraris also go for the one stop and pull off the ultra soft, which is going to be pretty disappointing if that is the case. Okay, Sebastian Vettel comes in, so that's within 2-stop territory. So Vettel comes in, that's a 2-stop, definitely for him. Now the question is, okay, so Sebastian Vettel comes in, so that's 2-stop territory. So the question is, will Kimi Raikkonen and his teammate follow him in this lap? Okay, Sergio Perez has got a run on me here. He's going to go to my outside. To be fair, there's some great pace in that Force India all race, but I'm going to hold it on the inside and keep him behind, and that's going to really push him back quite a bit there into the S's. So luckily, that's not going to cost me too much time. But Perez was looking pretty damn racy there on that Warn Ultra Soft, but I know how good the Force India is for tyre wear, so I'm not really surprised. Let's see now if Kimi Raikkonen comes in this lap, just like his teammate did last lap, and that will confirm the Ferrari is pretty much on a 2-stop, and yes he does, so that's 2-stop territory in my opinion, unless they can get 21 laps out of the softs, which would be pretty damn impressive in my opinion. So let's see, Perez at the moment now takes 2nd place. I'll take the race lead for now, and we'll get a glimpse into what tyre Kimi goes on as I make a mistake at turn 1 and Kimi goes super soft, so confirming the 2-stop there, at least for him. So that is good news for me, and I'm pretty much now committing to this one-stop strategy at this point. Okay, Sergio Perez comes in, so we are now standalone leaders of this race. I'm going to be out front for a couple more laps by myself. I reckon I could probably stretch this out until about lap 12 now and go back to my original scheduled pit stop lap. So let's just run it calm, take it nice and easy. Perez goes for the soft, so then again, because of that, I'm going to have to respond this lap. Okay, here we go, then we're going to come into the pit lane for my first and only stop of the race. And Grosjean was actually holding up with quite a lot of cars, and Vettel's only just got past this lap. So I reckon he might have done me a big favour there by holding up a lot of cars. Now, I could have come in last up to cover Perez, but I've got a feeling I might be okay, because I've just got the feeling that there's a lot of traffic where that part of the circuit is, where Perez is. So fingers crossed my prediction isn't wrong, and we might be able to rejoin the lead here, but it's going to be very, very close. So we need to be ready. Vettel sets the pace, as you can see there, and we've got Grosjean coming by. There's Raikkonen, and Perez is indeed further behind. So the gamble paid off, and the Perez isn't close to us, so now we've got a little bit fresher tyres for the rest of the race. So right now we're in the net race lead. Now the question is, what is Sebastian's pace going to be like from now until the end of the race, and will he unleash a challenge towards the end of the Grand Prix? Okay, we are right on the back of Roman Grosjean, who has been passed by Kimi Räikkönen, but he's going to come in and give me basically a DRS slingshot onto the main straight. So thank you very much, Roman. That is very welcome indeed. So now let's try and get the hammer down and set some good lap times on these new tyres to avoid Vettel really giving us a big challenge. 22.8 from Räikkönen, fast lap of the Grand Prix. We set at 23.7, so 9 tenths of drift, but that's not too bad considering the tyre difference, so we're looking pretty good right now. It's just starting to get a little bit cloudy here, and on the radio I just heard that there might be rain in 10 to 15 minutes, so I'm just going to keep one eye on the weather for now. Right, Sebastian Vettel comes in actually, and that's a very early stop, and he actually went longer on the Ultras than he did on the Supers, so yeah, Vettel's in and he's on the soft, so he's not going to be attacking as fast as he would like, and he's got a lot of ground to make up on that tyre, so that's definitely a bit of a relief for me. I think he probably will catch up because he's got the pace and also fresher tyres, but he's going to be on a far less competitive tyre than the one I thought he'd be on. Okay, Perez is coming at me really fast, and we have to go a little bit defensive into turn one. He's going to look for the outside line. I'm going to just squeeze him out there, but Perez definitely showing signs that he's finding some pace at the minute. That car is really fast in a straight line. Whatever upgrades they brought over the winter, it was definitely in the engine department because they are rapid in a straight line, and I mean really quick. So yeah, Perez is a real threat at the minute. Okay, Kimi Räikkönen in the pit lane. I'm going to presume he goes for the Ultras, and yes he does. So maybe Räikkönen might be the threat here. He's going to come out behind his teammate Vettel, but the Ferraris are going to get into a definite battle at some point, and also Räikkönen might be that bloody quick. He might be a threat towards the end of the race, especially if Perez keeps knocking on my door. I mean, look at that, a 22.5 from Vettel, and he's on the soft compound tyres. So this could get very tense. This could be a four-car scrap for the race win towards the end of the race if this keeps up at this sort of pace. And also if they're promising, it's not the promising, so the imminent rain coming soon, the chance of rain at the end of this Grand Prix, anything could happen here. So we've got to be very ready for everything and every possible scenario, eyes in the back of our head. And in terms of fuel, I've got a little bit of fuel saved up now, so if we need to get into a battle, I can definitely respond. Oh, safety car, wow. Okay, that is that's very, very, very interesting, because that's just blowing this race wide open. And not just that, that might just bring us into the rain period at the end of the race, and Räikkönen's going to catch up to us, and he's on a fresh ultra soft. So that is very, very interesting. Kevin Magnussen out of the Australian Grand Prix, and he's just blown this race wide open. If I remember correctly, very similar to last season when it was the late safety car, he just blew the race wide open. It's happened again this year, so oh my days, this is going to get very, very interesting. Oh my god, 5 minutes until rainfall expected. This is going to be very interesting. I don't know how to call this one now. This is going to be very, very interesting. I don't know what's going to happen. If it is 5 minutes, because I don't trust it to be, you never know, it might get extended. But even still, I think we are going to see some rain this race, which was not in my plans. This reminds me of, I don't know if it was last season, I think it was the season before that, when, what was it last season? I actually can't remember anymore. It might have been last season when we was leading the race, and the safety car came in, and on the restart we absolutely threw it away with a mistake. So I'm getting that vibe at the minute. Also, it's really getting grey now at the circuit, so this is going to be a very tense final few laps. Okay, the safety car is coming in, so I'm going to go to Rich Mix, and I can control the restart. So let's get ready here, and now we're just going to let it fly whenever we can here. Onto the pit straight, Rich Mix enabled. I'm going to basically try and just completely pull away here. The game sort of done me dirty when it comes to letting me off the limiter, and we're going to be attacked by Sergio Perez into turn one here. We're going to have to run very deep around the outside. Can we hold it? Yes, we can. We hold on to our lead, but now I've got to try and hammer the throttle down and pull away. It could rain any second here, so I'm going to use up my Rich Mix. I've got enough to go to the end of the race with it, so let's try and stretch this pack out as much as we can. Okay, so far so good. Personal best first sector, 2 tenths up in Rich Mix, really pushing hard now, trying to break the DRS. Okay, so far we've managed to get 2 tenths personal best in the first sector, and I'm trying to stretch out the pack and stretch out the gap to Sergio Perez here, really throwing the car into every corner in Rich Mix, hoping it sticks. And I think I might have just done enough there to break the DRS from Perez if we get through the next corner. Okay, 23.1, DRS is now enabled, and I've almost managed to get out of DRS from Sergio Perez here. It's looking good so far. The rain though is inbound any minute. Okay, it's now raining at Albert Park, and you'll see the lap time there. Not a personal best this time around, as the lap times now start to slip away, if you like, and it's going to be a bit of a fight now to try and keep the car on the track with these slippery conditions. The sun's still shining a bit, but 2 laps to go. I've got 3 cars breathing down my neck, 1 mistake, and I'm not even on the podium, so I've got to be very careful in these conditions, and I don't want to bottle it like I did last season. Okay, Sebastian Vettel has passed Sergio Perez, so could it be a late Ferrari charge here? The track is just starting to get very slippy now and losing that edge of grip that I want, and Vettel is pushing hard and really turning on the pressure now on this last lap. We've got to take it very easy and make sure we don't lose the back end. He wants to snap on me any moment here, but we've done enough through there. This is Vettel's last chance to pass me, and he's not really close enough to go for a lunge, so I think we've got it under control. We just got to make sure we make no more mistakes in this final part of the lap as I understeer a bit there, just losing the front end on the car, but taking nice and easy through here. No need to take any risks. We can bring this one home nice and easily. Try and take it nice and slow for the final corner. Now put the power down. Vettel's going to have DRS, but I'm going to pull over to the right hand side, break the slipstream, and across the line we win the first race of the season in Australia. And that is a great start to Season 7 and a big difference to the start of Season 6 last year. So really good race, and overall getting it absolutely perfect with the strategy. The safety car didn't really affect us too badly, and overall just had a car at the end ultimately that just had the pace, which is what you want. So really good race. I had to work for it, and Perez really had a couple of chances there to try and get me, but I kept my cool, didn't lose my head, kept my composure, and in the end it all paid off, and we win the Australian Grand Prix, and Vettel manages to get a second place with Perez in P3, and Raikkonen actually misses out in P4, albeit on that ultra soft tyre. So overall a very good first race of the season, but we're now going to move into the final race results, drivers and constructor standings for the first race of the season. Right, so looking at the final race results, we win the Australian Grand Prix ahead of Sebastian Vettel and Sergio Perez, who rounds up the podium ahead of Kimi Raikkonen, who just misses out on the top three. Romain Grosjean, a brilliant P5 for Haas, and also Hulkenberg there in 6th for Renault. And Stoffel van Dorn from P17 up to 7th place, definitely one of the driver of the day contenders there, with Daniel Ricciardo only managing P8 in his home race, and Carlos Sainz and Massa rounding out the top 10. Unfortunately, Bottas and Hamilton, both of the Mercedes, missing out on points this race, which is very shocking to say the least. And also look at that, I mean, Ocon in there also missing out on the points. Verstappen as well, only P18, who retired from the race right at the end, and a lot of big shocks there. But in terms of the standings, obviously the drivers is exactly the same, so we lead the way after one race. In terms of the constructors, we are in second place behind Ferrari, so a good way to start off Season 7. But now we're going to move into the laptop. Okay, so it's pretty straightforward this one. We're going to go in for some control electronics to try and improve some engine wear, because the engine is wearing away quite quickly. We only have 451 points left, so we can't purchase another upgrade, but I'm pretty sure we'll max out at least column 1 with the MGUH next, and then we'll probably get another control electronics after that, because basically we need to try and improve the engine wear, and that's going to help us out in the long term, in my opinion. So overall, that's going to be it for this race, and looking pretty good at the minute. Things are looking pretty damn good, and the midfield's looking incredibly competitive this season, and you know, it's anyone's to win, to be honest. So it's really looking competitive this season, and Ferrari, they haven't really brought an upgrade in a while. I mean, they brought some over the winter, but you can see Red Bull, they really got close over the winter, or the closest, should we say. And this time, the gap to Ferrari really is smaller than it has ever been in a long time. So this is looking really interesting. You've got pretty much from Ferrari down to McLaren sort of getting into a bit of a pack, and then you've got the lower end three teams with Toro Rosso, Haas and Sauber, who are sort of just starting to struggle to keep up a little bit. So it's all looking pretty interesting in the world of F1 at the minute, and hopefully it gets a little bit more competitive in here in Season 7. But nonetheless, that is going to be it for this episode, guys, of Career Mode. If you have enjoyed it, then please do slap a like on the video. Remember to turn on your notifications if you're new around here, and also please do subscribe to the channel for plenty more F1 content. And other than that, guys, I do urge you to go check out these 2 videos on screen if you have missed them by chance. And finally, if you haven't already, then do get some swag from GT Omega. Use the code TOM97 for a 5% discount at checkout on any of your purchases. But other than that, guys, thanks for watching. Let's see you in my next video very soon. Goodbye.